Currently my truck is parked in the garage. That means that there's no boat in my garage, and that's a big problem. So today we're gonna go and fix that. We're heading down to Mid-Kansas Marine and we're gonna go pick up my new boat. I don't have words to describe this boat. I haven't seen it in person. I've seen pictures, I've seen videos. You guys are coming along with me for my first in-person experience with this new boat. Some of you guys are gonna love this boat, some of you guys are gonna hate it, but I think this is the perfect rig for what I need. So stick with me. We're gonna hit the road, head down to Andover, Kansas to pick up this new boat at Mid-Kansas Marine. Let's go see this thing. I'm so excited. I'm like beyond excited. I've never bought anything new in my life, and this is a brand new 2024 boat. I haven't even bought a new truck before. All I've bought is used vehicles. So this is a big move for me, big move for the business, and I'm really, really, really excited about it. Here she is. We're over here at Mid-Kansas Marine picking up the boat. This is the SeaArk Protege, and I've got Casey here with me, and he's going to give you guys a walkthrough on this rig. So we'll let the man who knows more about this stuff than I do at this point in time give you guys a rundown on this brand new duck boat that I'm picking up and going home with.
Casey with Mid-Kansas. So we are really happy to have this partnership, this collab that we're working on with Josh from Outdoor Limits. So Protege, or SeaArk Protege, 20-foot boat, dual console, has a 200 horse Suzuki on it. So how we rigged it out for Josh, we've got a 24 volt, 80-pound thrust Tarova, Minn Kota Tarova. Got the stowaway mount up front and a Go Light remote. You can turn it, tilt it, all that sort of stuff. Brew City active target transducer. Josh, we went with the Lowrance graph, so he has HDS Pro on the bow and HDS Pro on the console. Active target, Brew City mount. Come on back, Josh, at the consoles. Added some Millennium Marine seats that he can actually take these out, put them up front on the front deck for crappie, and just booze cruising type of thing, whatever you want to do, really. Big 80-gallon live well, tandem axle trailer. He's going to do a lot of fun stuff in this. I think you're going to be excited with some of the things that he has in mind for what he's going to be able to put this bad boy through. So with the SeaArk Protege, 15-degree hull, thickest aluminum build on the market. We've got flotation pods in the back and a 200 horse Suzuki bulletproof motor we have a lot of success with, and we're selling a lot of Suzukis. Protege is a very utilitarian build, really big layout, a lot of room, open cockpit, big front deck, so a guy can do a lot of duck hunting, a lot of catfishing, a lot of crappie fishing, walleye fishing. You've got all the room in the world with the Protege.
Well, we finally got the new boat home, and I gotta say I'm pretty darn excited about what the future has in store for us. We did pop this thing on the water for a little bit, took it for a test drive. It runs great. We were in some pretty decent chop when we were doing this, and let's just say the wind is probably not going to keep me off the lake anymore, which is one of the biggest deals with why I wasn't really hunting a lot of reservoirs in the past couple of years. Just, it's been too windy for, like, when the conditions are good, it's been too windy to be safe. And now, we'll definitely be safe. So I want to do just a little bit of a breakdown for you guys, because this is probably the biggest investment I've ever put into this YouTube channel. And I'm pretty excited about it, but it also comes with a lot of responsibility. So if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot of really fun things with this boat. But today, I want to do kind of a little breakdown of the boat. I know Casey did that in the video, but I want to go into a little bit more detail and show you guys where I've moved things in. I've got everything pretty well figured out where things are going to go. So when we picked up from the dealership, it was just like how it came from the dealership. So now I've moved in a little bit, and we can show you a little bit more about the SeaArk Protege. But huge shout out to Mid-Kansas Marine for helping me out with picking this boat and setting it all up for me, because I mean, honestly guys, I didn't know all that much about this whole like fishing boat, hunting boat, big boat, really nice boat stuff. And if you told me a year ago that I'd have this boat in my garage, I said you're nuts. So it's just been a wild turn of events this year. So let's go ahead and I guess let's give a quick rundown on the boat itself. This is a SeaArk Protege, so it's 20 feet long. It's about 90 inches wide. It's got a 15-degree hull, so it handles that chop extremely well. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Like, there's so much to unpack with this boat that I'm still drinking out of a fire hose trying to figure this out. I don't know half of the stuff, like the functionalities of the electronics on this thing. It's just fully rigged. Something that I do want to show you guys is, I almost got a divorce the other night bringing this home. Look at how stinking close that is. It's really close, and it's like this close to touching the wall in the back. So we got big boat now. I don't even know how to even explain all this stuff, because I'm still amazed that this thing is in my garage and I get to play with this thing for a while. So many possibilities are now open for this YouTube channel, so I'm really, really, really excited about it. Maybe we should start in the back, okay? That might be a better place to start. So back here, lighting in the garage isn't that great. This shop light is broken and I haven't replaced it. So we've got, of course, we got a charger, so it plugs in, 200 horse Suzuki, and the really neat thing about this is it's got float pods. I would show you guys this out of the garage, but it's just been raining non-stop since I brought this boat home. And I want to show you guys the boat because it's pretty darn cool. Got cleats on both sides on the back, and then we'll get into this compartment stuff. I want to do a walk around the whole thing before we get up inside the boat. Rails along the sides on both sides, so rod holders, kind of whatever. I mean, you can grab rail, use these as tie downs for decoys. I can totally see this back deck just being covered in decoy bags, laying a blind in. And I guess I need to preface this. This is not your average duck boat. I think the industry has drilled into people's minds that they need to get a surface drive and have it be a flat bottom and you can go anywhere. But I've kind of been down the road. That's what I had, and I wasn't super happy with it. Now, it wasn't a super high-end boat, and it wasn't a big motor. It didn't have reverse, but the more and more I used it for what I needed to use it for, the more I realized that it wasn't a good fit for what I needed. This, however, this is the ultimate duck boat. Kind of. Ish. There's no ultimate duck boat, let's be real. But for me, this is kind of the perfect fit for my needs. I want something I can handle rough water in, some big rollers, still get out there on cold front days, because there's so much good hunting to be had on the reservoirs, but I just wasn't able to do it safely. And that's one of my biggest concerns. Anytime I go out, whether it's in a layout boat or a big boat, like, safety is the #1 priority. And if I don't have confidence in my equipment to handle that, I'm just not gonna go. So this is gonna open up a lot. We got a lot of storage for decoys, blinds, other people, dogs. Like, this boat's got a 10-person capacity. Like, it can hold a crap load of stuff. Even if it's just me and Adam going out, we could probably throw down like a whole goose spread and go hunt the Missouri River in this thing. Like, things are going to be opened up tremendously for hunting and fishing. Full windshield, it's gonna be amazing. Those cold mornings, making that run across the lake or up the river or wherever I'm going, that's gonna be nice. Whether I'm battling chop or just cold wind, I think I'm gonna really, really, really enjoy having that windshield. Even yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was, when we took the boat out, it was really choppy and that spray was just covering the windshield, but none of us were getting wet. So I think there's definitely some good benefits to having a full windshield. Once again, we've got full rail, probably about 4 foot of rail here, running from the side of the cockpit to basically the bow. So it ends right here, you got a cleat, and you got your bow. On that, we've attached this Bruce City transducer mount for the active target. I went with Lowrance, which that's what Casey and the guys at Mid-Kansas Marine said that they like to use. And I'm kind of a newbie when it comes to it, so they kind of referred me to Lowrance because it's pretty user-friendly and it's a quality product. So I'm looking forward to getting the hang of all of the fishing electronics on this thing. And behind me here, we've got 2 pedestal seats. So on the front deck, there's 3 spots for pedestal seats. There's 1 in the middle and then 2 on the side. So you can either have a 1-man show or you can have a 2-man show up on the front deck. They screw out, and then at the dealership, you guys saw them in the actual cockpit of the boat. So those can move around wherever on the boat. Same thing on the back. There's 1 pedestal mount on the back of the boat, which personally, I don't know how I'm gonna like it if we're fishing 2 people and we're throwing stuff in the live well, because the mount is on the live well lid. So it's gonna move up and down. So you're gonna have to take the seat off and then open it up, put it down, put the seat. Probably not that big a deal, but still kind of a bit of an annoying thing to deal with. But I don't know why we need to do that, because there's plenty of space up at the front of the boat. We've got this light here, which I'll show you guys in a minute, which is super cool. Southern light. We've got a compartment on the deck here, and then we've also got an anchor locker here. And the only thing else is Torova, 80-pound, 60-inch trolling motor. Now let's get inside the boat and have a little bit of fun up in there. So here we are. We are in the captain's chair of my new boat. It's pretty crazy. You know, as a kid, or even not really as a kid, but like a high school student, and all through, like basically once I discovered that I really enjoy hunting and fishing, I knew that I would love to own a boat one day. And when I got that 16-foot John boat, I thought that that was the coolest thing I've ever done. And I never really thought that I'd be able to upgrade to a big kid boat like this for a while. Like, this was not on my radar. But opportunity presented itself, and now we're here. And I'm very excited about this. I just remember as a high school student thinking I wanted a boat. I didn't care what kind of boat it was, I just wanted a boat. And then, you know, working my way through college and eventually getting some kayaks, got into the kayak fishing, kayak hunting stuff, and that made it a little bit more attainable. I actually, when I was a high school student, I worked and saved up some money and bought myself a little yellow sit inside kayak for like 150 bucks. That was probably one of the coolest things that I did as a high school student. I mean, that was a big deal for me, being able to get out and fish some of the bigger lakes, city ponds and stuff like that. So I've always kind of had an interest in boats. I've always loved being in boats, hunting from boats, fishing from boats. And this is something that has always been kind of a goal for myself, is to eventually be able to own a boat like this. Is this the perfect fit? We'll find out. But I definitely think that there's a lot of things about this boat that I like, that originally, when I started this whole process, I didn't even think I'd end up with a boat like this. I was thinking I wanted something more in line with what the industry is telling you. As a duck hunter, this is the boat that you want. That's more, I was still in that mindset. I was still fighting that. And I finally saw this boat and got to talking to Casey about it and figured this is probably a really good fit. So here we are. We got the new SeaArk Protege, pretty pumped about it. And this is where the fun stuff is gonna happen. Let's take a look from the back, move to the front, give you guys an in-depth full tour of this thing, show you where I've kind of moved things in, and kind of cover some of the stuff that we didn't get to cover earlier. I'm probably going in a lot of circles, so hopefully I edit that out, but there's just so much to cover in this video, and I don't even know how to even put it together into words as I'm doing this, because, like, honestly guys, I'm living the dream right now. Like, this is, for me, even picking up the boat, like, it was hard for me to want to do any video stuff, because this has been just a big dream of mine for so long that I decided to take it in for myself. I know it's important to show you guys all this stuff, and I figured I could come back and do this later, but it is nice to kind of take a couple days, get settled in, get to wrap my mind around the fact that I've got a 20-foot boat in my garage with a 200-horse Suzuki on the back. Like, that's a big deal as an outdoorsman, because if you guys didn't know, this channel started as a fishing channel. I started as a high school student, just filming some fishing videos on and off, and then in high school or in college I started doing some fishing videos here and there, and then the duck hunting thing just kind of took everything over. It took over my life, and here we are, finally coming full circle, and the old Kansas fisherman's going to be using that active target and catching some fish. So let's move to the back. So for this part, we're going to go handy cam style. You won't see my ugly mug anymore. We'll get this popped open. The lighting will get better as we move forward. There's really not that much exciting stuff happening back here. We've got the trolling motor batteries, which are lithiums, 4-bank charger. We've got the lithium battery for the electronics in the boat, and then we've got the lead acid cranking battery. All that's going to the big old 200 horse Suzuki. And on that Suzuki, I should mention, you guys can see down there possibly, that is a stainless steel prop. This is actually a compartment that I really hope I don't ever have to open up. Because if I'm on the water and I gotta open this thing up, we got some problems. So let's hope that doesn't have to happen. Here is the 80-gallon live well with the pedestal mount that I told you guys about earlier. This boat is actually a catfish boat, so it's like an entry-level tournament catfishing boat. Insulated lid on the live well. I put my slab checker in there. Shout out to Rogers for the old slab checker. But this is the 80-gallon live well. It does have a divider, so I can move the divider in and out, split it in half, keep bait separate from fish, or separate fish species, or separate limits. You guys get the gist. And then, like I said, we've got these rails right here. Put a little gear tie on there. I'll probably use that to hold rods down for the time being. And we've got this T-track right here. On the floor, we got 1 and 2 pedestal seats, so we can seat 4 people right here in the cockpit. These seats, they're cloth seats. I don't know if you guys can see them here. I'll show you guys here in a second. Cloth seats, captain's chairs, and they do swivel. So they do lock in. You can swivel them around, do a full 180. And then up here we got a grab bar, a cup holder, a little kind of foam tray to put assorted items. So like when we're switching baits or whatever, when we're fishing, just whatever odds and ends. And then of course we got a little handle here on the side, and then the windshield, this. And then down here is just a little net area. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna put down there. I'm sure it's gonna come in handy for storage of some sort, maybe blind bags or any number of things. This boat just has such an open platform that there's just room to put all the things. And where there is like little storage compartments, it's kind of hard to figure out what you want to put in there, just because there's such limited enclosed, contained spaces to put things. So underneath both of these consoles, there's space. I just don't know quite what to do with them yet. All right, so in here, we'll get to the really cool stuff in a minute. Let's just run through the whole boat itself. Like if you're gonna buy one of these boats, here's how it would come. Big cockpit. On the inside here, we've got, I put a little dry box. So, you know, simple things like phone chargers. I've got USB-C, iPhone, and micro USB. So all the stuff that I use, whether it be camera gear, phone, GoPros, that whole thing, got chargers for that. Headlamp, an extra little USB charger for the cigarette outlet. Lens wipes, hand sanitizer, knife sharpener, and then paperwork for registration and insurance and all that stuff. And that's going to be all enclosed in a waterproof container. And then this I'm going to turn into, I haven't filled it up yet, this will be my first aid kit. So another watertight sealed container. The only thing I've got in here right now is an emergency blanket, a little Mylar blanket. I found that when I was doing some cleaning, and I figured I should put that in the boat, because if we're duck hunting in this thing and somebody has an accident, that's probably a really nice thing to have around. Glass cleaner for the windshield, sunscreen, got some koozies for soda pops, couple towels, dock lines, you know, just some real basic stuff, and manuals for everything. Just getting moved in. And then on the inside here, I've got a couple remotes and then a little tape measure with, I just used some Velcro command strips to stick all that to the lid. Just some important kind of things to always have a place. Up here, we've got kind of the main part of this boat. I've got this 9-inch HDS Lowrance unit, so I'll get to play around with that once this boat can go in the water and it quits raining. Suzuki digital gauge, which still need to play around with that. We got all sorts of different things. There's 2 aerators and a recirc for that live well horn. got a little courtesy light. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can see it illuminating. But yeah, we got main power and then different stuff. We got bilge pump and then accessory switches. Got just some extra odds and ends just hanging around. I don't quite know where to put my trolling motor remote, so got to figure that one out. Right now I've just kind of got it strapped down there. Another one of these foam pads, cup holder. Then there's no hot foot in this, so it's just forward, backward acceleration, trim tab, or trim switch. And of course, we can't forget that we've got the kill switch and a steering wheel. So there's a little bit of space underneath the cockpit here, which, like I said, I could probably throw like some blind bags or something down there, just, you know, something about that size. There's probably a couple of smaller totes that I could purchase if I wanted like some waterproof totes to throw some stuff in. I'm moving in what I have, and I'm sure, you know, as time goes on, I'll figure out some other options on things to get to, you know, make the storage in this boat work the best. And we can't forget, we got the full windshield, so it'll latch down. That'll stay closed. But we need to get through here so we can get to the front of the boat. And like I said, this thing is wide. It is extremely wide. Like, I full on laid down on the back. So if I'm 5'10", 5'11", somewhere in there. And if I can lay down and not touch the gunnels on either side. So it's big. So that just means that there's just a lot of room. I remember when I saw this in person for the first time, I was like, holy smokes, that is a big boat. All right, now we step up. There's a little step to get up onto the front deck. We got this pedestal mount here. 1, 2, and 3. This is probably the configuration that I'm going to run most of the time. Fuel tank right there. About a 50-gallon fuel tank on this thing, so it'll hold a lot of gas. We've got transducer arm, the graph for the front, and we've got our ET light, is what I like to call it, and then the trolling motor. So moving into this storage compartment on the deck, I didn't quite understand how big it was until I started loading tackle trays in here. So all these trays, except for a couple of them, are 3700 size. So I can fit side by side 3700 boxes. Got totes for soft plastics and whatnot, so it's not even half full yet. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is just a giant storage box. So that's pretty sweet. I fit almost all of my tackle in there. I was concerned that I was gonna have to like keep boxes inside the house and rotate things in for species-specific outings. That's not the case. Millennium chairs, super sweet, super nice, comfortable, nice airflow. Everybody's used these before. And then let's check this out up here before we get into the stuff that Mid-Kansas did for me. And then in here, it's actually pretty decent size. I've just loaded it up with all the life jackets and you know, all the legality stuff is in there. Oh, I've also got an anchor, and then down in here somewhere is my navigation lights. So that's all taken care of right there. And yeah, got the trolling motor with the quick detach, and then we got trim tab up here for the big motor. All right, now we've got the HDS on the front. So I think both these units are exactly the same, both 9-inch units. I went pretty basic. I didn't want to get too overloaded because I didn't quite know how much fishing I was going to be able to do and, you know, whatnot. So we've got this Stowaway XL graph mount. So it will raise up to about 36 inches. It's got a little spot for pliers up here, which is nice. It's got a kickstand, and like you guys saw, it does fold down for transport. Same thing with this transducer arm, which is a Bruce City mount. So we got the active target for the Lowrance, and I put it flip-flopped for when I drive. So when I get to the lake, put it on the water, I'm going to take this, undo all this, flip it to where the transducer's on the outside of the boat. And it's got a little handle, and we'll try and find the fish. Now, for that, this is probably one of the coolest things. So if you guys remember, I said I put some remotes in here. So here we have the remote for the what I call the ET light on, and it turns on. And if you notice, there's 4 directional switches here, so I can't hold it up when we do it. So it's left, right, up, and down. Remote controlled spotlight for when we're riding in the dark trying to go duck hunting. So we can go down, face the water, face up. It's just super cool. So I can like rotate it. Let's say I'm parked sideways, we want to shine it at the decoy spread, or we're running the reservoir, or wherever we're going, we want headlights out front. It's just a sweet little light. I'm pretty pumped about it. I didn't quite understand all the functionalities, and Casey was the one who really urged me to get this light, and I'm glad he did because it's pretty stinking cool. But that's gonna live on the Velcro right there, and then right here we've got the other fun stuff. I guess I'll pull this off and show you guys. If you look, you see it has brightness up, brightness down, pause, on, off, colors, and then different modes. So I've got, I don't even know, I haven't counted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's just 4. So we've got 4 of these lights, and they'll rotate through. They can do different colors. So green, blue, white, orange, yellow, cyan, purple, and then these are fun too. It'll go through different things, you know, disco modes and whatnot, and you can bump the speed up and speed down. So I don't know exactly how much I'm going to use these different things, but the different colored courtesy lights will be kind of cool. I think those lights are going to be a lot of fun, whether we're driving the boat to go duck hunting or, you know, we're out late running green lights for crappies or going bow fishing, doing anything. I think those interior lights are going to light the boat up enough to where I'll be able to see everything is on the floor, no tripping, and everything's going to be all hunky-dory. It's going to be a lot of fun. Wow, this is going to be quite the video to edit, I can tell already. There's just so much to unpack in this thing. It is unbelievable that I even own this thing. I'm in awe. I can't believe it. Like, this is like when a kid has a dream and his dream comes true. Yeah, I'm that kid. Thank you. Everybody that's hit the subscribe and watched the videos for 10 plus years. Well, about 10 years. Been at it a long time. Been working really hard, and you know, it's finally time for me to invest in the YouTube channel a little bit more and see if we can expand into fishing, bow fishing, hunting. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of possibilities that this thing's gonna open up, and I'm really excited about it. So like I said, I went pretty basic on everything with this boat. I wanted to get into it, figure out what I wanted, and figure out what I want to, you know, maybe add in the future. I just don't know. I've never been in this space before, and I don't know quite what all the options are for a boat like this. So there's just so much learning to happen, and I'm excited to dive into it and really rig out one of these boats to fit my needs and have a boat that fits my needs and feel comfortable to go hit the lake any day of the year and be able to go hunting when I want to go hunting, be able to go fishing when I want to go fishing, and not look at the weather forecast or the wind forecast and be like, nope, not going today. So it's going to be a fun year. Welcome to 2024 Outdoor Limits YouTube channel. Things just got real. So I want to give a huge shout out to Mid-Kansas Marine. Give them a big thank you for helping me out with this boat and figuring out what kind of things I needed to put into it to make it the rig that I've been looking forward to for basically half my life. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure to leave me a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below what you guys think of this boat, and I will catch you guys on the next one.